Hello, and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. Okay, this afternoon we have Jim Beam Original Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Introduced in 1938. Okay. There has been production starting around 1795, but the Jim Beam brand, this whiskey called Jim Beam, has been on the market for only 80 years. Well, I think 80 years is not just a short amount of time. It's pretty long. It's a pretty long time ago. Okie dokie. From Beam, Clermont, and Frankfort, Kentucky. Oh, well, it's not Sour Mash versus a new kid on the block. Speckled Tail American whiskey, bottled in Florida. And that's all I know. There's no website information. It's aged, they're both aged at least 4 years. This is not classified as a bourbon whiskey because it's probably it's aging the whiskey in used barrels. But there's no age statement which tells us that legally it must be aged at least 4 years. It's pretty dark. Look at that dark. Look at that dark whiskey. I say at least 4 years. I should have put that in the description, at least 4 years. I don't know if it's exactly 4. It could be, it's so dark, it could be 8. I don't know. Okay. I thought that the Speckled Tail versus Jethro T. Boots was going to be a tough challenge. And it turns out I was right because I said, man, it's going to be tough. Then I got it wrong, and I said, I can't believe I got it wrong. Well, wait a minute. What did I just say? It's going to be tough. So it's like you're playing sports and you say it's going to be really tough to beat this team, boy. It is going to be so difficult. Then you lose and say, I can't believe we lost. What do you mean you can't believe you lost? You just said how hard it was going to be to beat them. It's not like you're playing basketball against, I don't know, University of Maryland at Baltimore County, somebody like that. Somebody who you obviously beat in a national tournament, like, say, the NCAA National Championship Tournament. We're not talking about that, where you say, well, I'm the #1 team, and they're the 16th seed, and they're from a smaller conference. We're not going to lose. It's impossible. It's never happened before. Well, you know, we're not talking about something like that. We're talking about a really tough challenge here. Well, I should say we're talking about a really tough challenge there this morning. I don't think this one's going to be so tough. What's up, Ron? Says Alex the Beer Master. Hello, ATBM. Oh, I'm just doing a whiskey challenge. And look, after this, I've got to do, yeah, right. I'm obligated to do this. I've got to do it in the context of wanting to do certain things. So I got these two whiskeys to taste against each other. Then I got to drink Busch Light. I'll show you that in a minute. Then I never did drink my juice today. You say, you mean your Mogan David blackberry wine? Yes, my juice. Then another Busch or a Natural Light. And in the morning, we'll sweep out the ashes. Okay. You heard that? The drinking bell just went off. So, I don't mean the drinking bell, obviously. I mean the tasting bell. We don't want to use inconvenient terms. We want to use responsible and intelligent and dignified terminology in these taste challenges. They're both about the same in appearance, but the Speckled Tail is just a half a shade darker. So let's mix them up. Now I think, therefore I taste that the Jim Beam is going to be too easy to tell, because what do we know about Jim Beam? Besides it being one of the top selling whiskey brands in the world. Well, it has that distinctive cellar mold taste. Now, before you take that as a negative descriptor, it just has a distinctive cellar mold flavor. Somewhat like beer, Abbott Ale with beer. It's hard to pin down, but my grandfather used to have this bomb shelter inside of a hill. It's still there in Baton Rouge, and we would go in there and had that moldy taste. And Louisiana is full of mold, so I'm used to mold. Everything would mold. White mold, black mold, mold everywhere. And you wonder why people have sinus problems here. Well, it's so humid. And it has that green wood, like green wood. It's like wood that's not dried enough. It's green. It's a strange thing, but you can kind of detect it. Speckled Tail has none of those things. It does have a deep, strong charcoal burn to it. But now, this morning I said, oh, this is Speckled Tail. This is Speckled Tail. It's like drinking charcoal. It's like drinking burnt wood. Oh, yes. And then I was wrong. I had the Jethro T Boots confused with Speckled Tail. Well, that speaks well for Jethro T Boots, because it's only at $8.99 at CVS Pharmacy if you have a CVS card, whereas Speckled Tail will cost you $10.79, $1.80 more. Not a whole lot of money, but if you want to save money, like Benjamin Franklin said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Bad Rex again sounds like, oh man. Hope they're okay. It's too windy to sit outside. I don't know what I'm going to do for that bush light. No, not an examination, just a drinking review. Just a review. It's very sunny, not a cloud in the sky. But it's so windy that the cold front came through. Tonight it'll get down to 48 on the first day of spring 2018. 48 degrees overnight. What's going on? Hey, Ron, I've been wondering, ever heard of the TV series Jake and the Fat Man? Yeah, wasn't that with, William Conrad, I think, and somebody else? I never watched it. It was on CBS, right? There's a lot of CBS shows that I remember, but I never watched. Like Magnum PI. I did watch Trapper John MD, though, and Cannon, and All in the Family, and the Jeffersons. And so on. All right. Oh, okay. From that first sniff, that smelled like Jim Beam to me. Let's go again. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Jim Beam. It just has that bright, kind of like a bright aroma. Jim Beam is like a bright bourbon. It's upbeat. I say that about beers sometimes. Beers, they got upbeat beers, and there's downbeat beers. Hold on a second. Hello? Hey, this is Jay. Oh, I thought you said that. I'm fine. I'm doing a whiskey challenge right now. Live online. Can I call you back? It's not an emergency. Is it? Okay. I'll call you back in a little while. All right, bye. Sorry about that. My sister called. You know, people call you. All right. Not an emergency. So, like, there's downbeat beers and there's People are gonna say, I know you have AT&T with that ring. I know. Upbeat beers. There's downbeat whiskey and upbeat. This one's like upbeat. It's bright. It has a lot of life to it. I'm not saying the downbeat beers don't have life. They just have like, they're just, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's like music. They're like a downbeat. Okay, so that's got that, all that mossiness and that greenwood and all of that. Okay, so all right. Now let's go over here. A lot of spice. A lot of spice. Caramel, sugar. Well, it's kind of upbeat too, but not super upbeat. But it's on the upside. I don't know though. Well, I mean, I'm taking a deep inhalation now, and that's got some Jim Beam-esque things going on. And anyway, when I first guessed, I didn't formally guess. I said it seems to be. Perhaps it is. So let's take our time a little bit. Be calm, cool and collected. Take your time, take your time. Take your own time. Okay. Wow, they're both really nice, but it's hard to say, so let's go with the taste. And by the way, Jim Beam around here is usually around $13.99 for a bottle. It's not too expensive. Sometimes you can get on sale even cheaper, $12.99. Evan Williams, you can really get good sales. Evan Williams is mighty fine. Winn-Dixie's mighty dumb over there. Why do I say that? I'll tell you why I say that. They had a grand opening last year. Maybe it was early this year, a grand reopening. Oh, it was really wonderful and all these events. So you know me, I'm in there and I'm looking around, scouting out the liquor section. Oh, yeah, really nice, really nice. And then I say, whoa, hold on a second. They got the 750 bottle of Evan Williams Green Label and then the big jug handle bottle. They're both priced $21.10. I said, now, somebody screwed up. I know this is not $21.10. So I go to the register. I tell the manager, this is wrong. This price is wrong. Oh, okay. He tells the lady at customer service, ring this up, do a price check. Ding. Oh, it's $10.99, something like that. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be $10.99. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you checking that. I said, yeah, that bothers me when I see stuff mistagged because it's so common and it's so irritating. Plus, none of your customers are going to buy that if they think a regular bottle of Evan Williams is $21.10. You're right about that. So I go back a week later, still price wrong. I said, look at this. I don't own the store. I don't care. I know what it's supposed to cost. It's just so stupid. You know, it's like, how hard is it to change the tag, right? So here we are now, what, 3 months later, 4 months later? Because it might have been the end of 2017 when they had the grand reopening. I really don't remember. I didn't mark it down as an event. I go there this morning to buy the Busch Light. I said, look at these people here. Here we are months later, still marked $21.10. Doesn't look like they sold the bottles packed to the back. I know Evan Williams is a big seller, so it might just rotate. It might sell a lot, and maybe the people grabbing it don't look at the tags. I don't know. I think people look at tags. They might be thinking, what's wrong with Evan Williams? It's not moving. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I should be a store manager. And you shouldn't be. I don't know. Those kind of things just bother me to no end. Okay. Hey, Ron, I've been wondering, you ever heard of Judge Leander Perez? Have I ever heard of Judge Perez? Oh, well, now we better not go there. My grandfather was a surgeon at He graduated from Tulane Medical School. My great-grandfather also. My grandfather was a doctor at Baptist Hospital in New Orleans and East Jefferson Hospital, and U.S. Army medic as well in World War II. He died 2016, October 2016. Or was it August? I can't remember. Anyway, he said there were only 2 people he would ever let through the line. He never played favorites. It didn't matter how rich you were, wealthy. You went to his doctor's office, you wait in a waiting room like everybody else, according to the sign-in. No special privileges. And he always had business. He said, because a lot of people, they would tell him, I don't have any money. And he would just let them go for free. He'd, do his medical practice on them for free. He said once Medicaid and Medicare came into play, they had all kind of rules like you couldn't treat people for free. So that was why he wanted to quit. And he retired in 1985. But he said, but the only 2 people he ever let cut the line was a Baptist preacher who would try to convert everybody in the waiting room and get people angry. And they would say, this man's bothering us. There's a big commotion. And Leander Perez, who would get into fights with people in the the waiting room. He said one time he was on Canal Street in New Orleans. I think it was Canal Street. And so he heard somebody calling his name, Doc, Doc. He looked, Dr. Zingle, come see. He said, oh, it's Leander Perez. He said, Harry, come see. He said, what's wrong, Judge Perez? Look in my mouth. Do I have something in my mouth? Do you think that's cancer or whatever? And he looked in his mouth and he said, no, I don't think so. He said, that was some kind of character, but yes, I'm very familiar with Leander Perez, but William Kepley, come on back, bro. Right. We preach that message every day. And Zmick Nazik, he might come back tomorrow night for that regular beer thing. Eric expects me to eat a hamburger on Massachusetts Beer Reviews. I'm not eating a hamburger at 6:30 at night. I don't eat big things at night. I might eat a few potato chips. I'm probably not going to eat anything if I go get that tackle box from Popeyes, because I screwed up last week and I didn't get the tartar sauce. And I love the Popeyes tartar sauce. So I got the envie. I have the envie for the tartar sauce. So I've got to go get another tackle box before Lent is over. So tomorrow I'm going to go do that, I think, for lunch. And then I might be so full I won't eat anything that night. So sorry, Eric, I'm not going to do that. Okay, on with the taste challenge. Judge Perez. Oh, well, the flavor commonly associated with whiskey. Dried flowers. Pourquoi the flowers? Yeah. Little candied fruit, cake fruit. All your typical things. A lot of corn. Yellow corn grits, you know what I mean. Okay, here we go. Oh. Now this one has more of a mentholated thing and more charcoal. Now you're saying, but Speckled Tail is not a bourbon. Not in the legal sense, but in a practical sense, it is, just like early times. Technically, no, early times is not bourbon. In a practical sense, I mean, it really is. You know what I mean? Jack Daniels is not marketed as a bourbon, nor does the company claim it's a bourbon. But legally, it is a bourbon. Okay. Oh boy. That has got a lot of minty character, but there's a backwash of toothpick. You know what I mean? Toothpick wood. I think. Just stopping in to say, keep on creating, Jay, says Tyler. I intend to do that, Tyler. And I appreciate your support, man. You keep on creating too. I think this is Jim Beam because I think it's got more of that mossy, I say it's like mold or something. I mean, you look on their website, they're never going to say that. And I'm sure if I was on the tour and I mentioned that, they would not take it well. Because they're thinking like, why is he saying this? He's one of these Jim Beam haters. Here we go. I'm not at all. I like Jim Beam and I'm favorable towards it. I would never say anything bad about it. I'm just trying to describe it. And I think this is Speckled Tail. But to tell you the truth, I'm not as confident as I thought I would be. Well, it just goes to show you, Speckled Tail, this unheard of thing. Well, it's heard of because one guy already did a video review before I did. His name is The Working Man's Whiskey. I don't think he ever responded to comments, though, that I made. I don't recall him responding to any comments. But some reviewers are like that. You know, they just don't have time for you as a viewer, except for you to watch, like, comment, and subscribe, especially the last couple of things. 2 out of the last 3 things, I should say. The like and then the subscribing, maybe not the commenting. I don't like that approach. I always respond to comments, unless they're stupid. And I'll give you an example. Like today. Why do we pay this guy any mind? He can't even pour a beer. I just deleted it. If you ask me, like, why do you pour a beer like that? I would talk to you about it. But when they start off with you idiot and stuff, it's not that it bothers me. I just don't feel like dealing with it, you know, because they want that attention. And then they usually, if you don't respond, they'll go on and bother somebody else. They just get lost, you know. It's like if you went out to a bar and somebody approached you with, hey, idiot, it probably wouldn't turn out too well if you kept talking to the guy. So it'd be best to just get out, just walk out, you know, get out of there. Because you know they're looking for trouble. Alex says, hey, Ron, really nice talking to you and hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, you too. And I'll wrap this up. JTLBZ says, greetings from Ohio. Greetings back to you in Ohio. Greetings from Louisiana. Okay, so I think this is Jim Beam, and I think that is Speckled Tail. But I'm not totally confident, okay? I'm not totally confident. I'm kind of confident. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it just goes to show you Speckled Tail can hold its own. It's only been on the market for a year. And it's out there going toe-to-toe with these big-time, you know, famous brands. So we got Jim Beam Choice next. And maybe Thursday morning at a Dawn Busters challenge. Ooh, now you would think. Now that's got to be a clear-cut winner. You would think. You would hope. The late, great Jim Beam Choice. Discontinued the same year Speckled Tail got started. Okay, so here we go. I'm saying Jim Beam. Whew. I was scared. I was really scared. I was more scared than the Ohio State women playing a team from the Mid-American Conference last night in women's basketball. Who in the world from a MAC conference can beat a Big Ten conference? Big Ten got 14 teams. It's the Big Ten. You could call it the Big 14 if you wanted to. And then the Big 12 don't have 12 teams. Okay, but anyway, and the Atlantic 10 has a good deal more than 10. So off of that. All right, so I got it. I did it. Well, I got it right. I thought I would get it right. I predicted I would get it right, but I thought it would be a lot easier than it was, honestly. Oh yeah, why did he ask me about Leander Perez? That's a bizarre question to ask somebody. Hey, how's it going? You ever heard of Leander Perez? It's a strange topic to bring up, but it's an interesting topic, to say the least. Okay. Okay, so that's it for whiskey today. Yeah, that's it. So on to the beer, on to the wine, then the beer, then the other beer. Well, and that'll be it. That'll be it. 2 light beers, big deal, you know. And exactly boozing it up. And what, 4 ounces of Mogan David Blackberry? Not exactly getting tore up, as they say. Already drank some hot tea. Drank 3 cups of coffee. All right. Anyway, so thanks for watching this video production, and stay tuned. Well, don't stay tuned. You can tune back in. Thursday morning, that's the plan at least. Thursday morning, Speckled Tail versus Jim Beam Choice. Ooh, I can't wait. Because I like Louisiana history, that's why. Oh, okay. Well, that's a real legitimate question then. And don't feel funny asking me. I'm always glad to answer questions. I'm not trying to make fun of your question. I just thought it was it's a question that people wouldn't typically ask about Leander Perez. But I appreciate you being interested in Louisiana history. And there's a lot to be said about Leander Perez, but I'm not going to say it today. All right, so I said enough already, I think. All right, so thanks for watching this video production, and y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana and have a wonderful day. Look how beautiful it is outside.